Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Always Lulu. So for this fall look, you're just going to start off with a basic foundation. You can really use like whatever you normally do, whatever color works best for you, but it's just a base coat to start off with. Next I put on just a powder. This is so your skin doesn't have like an oily appearance and also allows it to grab the makeup and to stay on your face longer. Next, I contour my face. I just use a powder. I know some people try to use a stick or a liquid, but this seems to work best for me. So just find a tone that's not too dark, but it works with your skin. And I just work it right along the cheekbone and up through my forehead. Just blending it all in so it looks really natural. I try not to go too heavy with it, but just enough to add a little definition to my face. So after I've got like the base of my face done, I like to use a little bit of a smaller brush and just do a little bit on my nose, not much. But this allows you to kind of change the shape of your nose. If it's a little bit more round than you'd like, you can add a little bit more sharper edges. So I really don't do a whole lot. I just kind of work around the sides, a little bit in the front to give a little more squared off look. It's really just an extra. I don't do it all the time. But with some special looks, sometimes I'll go ahead and do it. So this is the blush that I use. This is actually just a super cheap blush. I bought it Forever 21 one day, and surprisingly worked amazing, and I've used it ever since. I like the color. It's just a really natural blush. So just apply a little bit amount and just try to blend it in as much as you can afterwards. That way it's not too noticeable, but you still have those rosy cheeks. Okay, so for the tricky part, eyebrows. This seems to be the hardest thing if you have light blonde hair like me. Because if you don't put anything in them, they're not going to show up. But it's hard to add any kind of pencil without it being super noticeable. So what I actually use is eyeshadow. I just find a nude eyeshadow that tends to match the blonde in my hair. And I just work along the side, along the arch of your eyebrow just to form it. Just kind of mixing it in, blending it in. I don't do too much, but just enough so my eyebrows are defined, but they still look natural. So if you're blonde like me, it's really hard to find a pencil that matches. So I always use just an eyeshadow. So this new little technique that I've been trying is actually a pencil that I found when I was at the makeup show in Dallas. It's just like a highlight pencil, I guess. I've never really used one before, but I thought, why not? And I got it, and I've loved it since. It allows me to add kind of like a harder edge to my eyebrows, but you don't have to do it with an eyeshadow. You don't have to do it with like another pencil. It's kind of like a waxy pencil. So it's super easy. Just put it on the edge, and then you just blend it out as you go. I just used a random little eyeshadow brush. It doesn't need to be anything special, but this just allows you to blend it in, and then you can start on with your eyeshadow. Okay, so for this fall look, I'm just using my fall color palette. It's Crown. It works amazing. I love all of the eyeshadows in it. So I start off with just a light, very, very natural color. And this I just work along my crease and along my eyelid. This is kind of like just a base coat. It really doesn't add a whole lot of color, but it's just good to start off with in the first place. Okay, so next is my handy dandy eyeshadow technique. I've been doing this for a long time. It works amazing. I just get a little piece of tape. It can be about 2.5 to 3 inches long, and you just put it right underneath your eyelashes and along up towards your eyebrow. You can give it whatever angle you want, whatever you want your eyeshadow to look like. Go ahead and put 2 on both eye and try and make them match up with the angle that they go down on your face correctly. That way your eyeshadow will match up. Okay, so our next color that we're going to add is this blushy peach color. It's also very light, but I just work it along the crease and along the eyelid. The whole thing's really just done in layers, so you just kind of gradually start from light and we get on darker and darker to the next eyeshadow. So the next one I use kind of like an ochre color. I just do this along the eyelid to add a little bit of an orangey yellow, which we'll add more to later. And then I go for a brighter red. This is the fall. This is where those kind of colors come in. Feel free to go as crazy or as natural as you want. I love the red. I think it adds a great amount of pop. Also, something that's really important to remember is just to blend and blend and blend and blend. It's so easy for you to just get tired of it and maybe it's not feeling like it's working right, but really, if you just continue to blend it over and over, you'll soon to get this smooth fade going up your eyelid, and it'll just be like magic. So like I said before, as you continue along, you just go one shade darker, another shade darker, another one. This allows you to work with any palette that you already have, but it's really just doing it in a process. So just start with the light and work to the dark. You can bounce around between the different ones. So just slowly start to use your browns after you've done more of the orangey tones, and just slowly get darker with each layer that you apply. So for the last eyeshadow that I apply, it's my darkest color. It's almost black. So you have to be really careful with applying this so you don't cover up all the work that you've already done. So just work right along the edge of that tape. It'll give you a nice hard line, and then right down towards your eyeshadow, but just gently blending it out so nothing else gets kind of covered up in the process. Okay, so like I said before, those orangey tones are going to apply now with the glitter. This is a super cheap little palette I got at like Claire's, and it just has some basic ones that I can match and put on with different eyeshadow looks. So this is like a fall one. It's got some orange, it's got some red, some gold, super basic. You just put it right along your eyelid and kind of blend in. You really don't need too much to complete the look, just enough that you feel comfortable with. Okay, so once you've already completed the glitter, next I like to add just a little highlight at the end. This just adds a little bit of a pop right at the arch of your eyebrows and in the corners of your eyes. Like I said, you can add as much or as little as you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. I like adding just a little bit underneath the corners of my eyes as well, just to add a little brighter look. Then you can go ahead and peel off that tape and you'll see that you have a nice hard line that you got with your eyeshadow, and there you go, the trick, and it works perfect. It's so hard you couldn't really complete that with just a brush, but using the tape gives you that perfect harsh eyeshadow line. So next I apply my eyeliner. I have been using liquid eyeliner since forever. It seems to work the best. You have the most control. And for the cat eye that I usually do, it seems to work great. I just use e.l.f. It's cheap, but it's also been the best brand that I've worked with. Sometimes going cheap, you would actually be surprised by the quality. And everything I have of e.l.f. is amazing. It's kind of silly, but that's like my brand. I absolutely love all of the products that I have from them. Okay, so for the final step, go ahead and just apply your mascara. You can use whatever mascara you already have. I prefer CoverGirl just because it actually brushes out your eyelashes, and also doesn't apply it too fast so it gets clumpy or too thick. So just enough so it looks natural. Okay, so for a little final touch, I have just a concealer that I do right underneath my eye, following that hard line that we got from the tape. This will just add a highlight and a little bit of pop underneath your eyes to get rid of any of those bags that you tend to have. Go ahead and just blend it in. Just naturally, it doesn't take a whole lot. You can really use a sponge, you can use a brush, whatever you normally use for your foundation. Continuing on with kind of what we already did with that little bit of concealer, I just like to add a little bit of a highlight on top of it. It has a little bit of a shimmer so it's more noticeable. Also along the top of my nose, right above my lip and on my chin. Those are kind of my highlight spots. They seem to really work the best. For the lips, I just use a basic lip pencil. You can really use any color that you want because this is going to depend on what lipstick you choose to go with afterwards. Just make it really light and not too far. And then pick a good lip color, lipstick, anything that you want. I found this amazing. It's called Drama Queen, and it's like in an orange color, and this is what really completes that fall makeup look. Normally I wouldn't think going with orange would work for me, but I did it and I tried it, and it's now one of my basics that I pretty much use every other day. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it. I hope you also forgive all of my ums. I'm just starting out with my YouTube channel, and so if you could please like and subscribe, that would be amazing. Or comment with any ideas you guys might want for future videos. Thank you.